What is going on, folks? Stone Chef 710 coming at you live. I want to talk about vegans for a minute. Actually, it's probably going to be a lot longer than a minute, but hear me out. Okay? Now, vegans are, they put themselves out as people that are loving of all life. And they try to make themselves sound better than everybody else. And if you really think about it, veganism and vegetarianism is a lot like it's a lot like a religion. Um, you know, vegans and vegetarians, they're all about uh, not harming any animals and all this shit. But then when they meet somebody or experience somebody that's not vegetarian or vegan, they become assholes, really, for lack of a better term. They become assholes, and there have been many vegans and vegetarians that have made death threats to people that eat meat. Like, you say all life matters, but you're going to make a death threat to something that has a beating heart because they choose to eat other things that have a beating heart. It's very similar to a multitude of religions around the world that talk about, well, if you're not my religion, then you're the wrong one and you need to die. And believe me, there's plenty of religions, including Christianity, that have that stated in their book. And if you look in the Bible, it does say that. So don't argue. I'm an agnostic, but I know this. I understand this. I've read the Bible. And that's why I'm an agnostic. But, it's you take a look at the combines that go through and pick up all the rabbits and shit from nature. When those things come through, you can see all the vultures just circling because they know. Oh yeah, you're bringing the combine in to save all the rabbits and squirrels and shit, but what about the fucking animals living under the ground? The vultures circle because they know that those animals underground are being slaughtered and they're going to have a free meal. So a lot of vegans don't really think shit through. Then there's such thing as sustainable farming. The people that make a conscious effort to make as little impact as possible and still be able to feed themselves, their family, and maybe have a business. It's the way humans have lived for millennia. Millennia, okay? And granted, tens of thousands of years ago, yeah, we lived on a diet of berries and nuts and shit that the earth produced. But we've always eaten meat. It's just always happened. Like, it's a readily available source of nutrition and protein, which the body needs, and up until recently, the last 10, 20 years or so, we didn't have as much knowledge about how to get that protein and nutrients out of just a plant-based diet. Now, granted, I think that if people who do eat meat were to actually go through the experience of hunting something, taking something's life, skinning it, portioning it out, cooking it, there's a difference in taste and there's a difference in respect that you give to the meat that you eat. It's not like when I go hunting, I just throw my hands in there and just fucking shoot at everything. That's not the way it works. All animals hunt for something. Bees hunt for nectar and pollen. Mountain lions sometimes hunt dogs and cats when they're hungry. It's not a matter of humans are encroaching upon their land. Land changes hands. This species has control over it for a certain amount of time, and then out of nowhere, this other species comes in, takes over, and then it's no longer this species' land, and they go off or they're killed off, whatever. And then sometime later, the next species comes in, and so on and so forth, and it keeps happening. It's a revolving door. It's the way that the world goes round. So, vegans are not always good people. That's not to say that all vegans are bad, just like not all meat eaters and carnivores are bad. Just like not all people who engage in religion are bad. But just because you do engage in religion, that doesn't make you good. So there's always a separate side that you need to pay attention to. And I urge you people to pay attention to what's really going on. Dive into the shit that you hear about. Don't just take a story that you hear or that you read on the internet or see on the news even and take it as prophecy and as law. That's not what it is. It's just one entity or person's opinion on that subject. And for every one person that believes for something, there's 10 more that believe the opposite. And everybody can show their evidence, and everybody can find supporting evidence. But as long as you sustain what you're eating, if you have your own chickens, eat the eggs, eat the chickens. I grew up on a farm. I killed rabbits. I killed chickens. I slaughtered pigs because that's what we did. That's how we lived. That's how we got our food. We weren't always able to go to the store and buy what we wanted because we were poor. Most of you don't know what that's like. But it's a really shitty place to be. At one point in time, I was living under a bridge. For 6 months, I lived under a bridge in Dallas. And there were times I had to kill things that I would never have considered eating before. You ever eaten a frog? I have. You ever eaten a rat? I have. See, when people are put into a predicament where they have no alternatives and they have to eat, they have to feed themselves, they're going to do whatever needs to be done. Just like any animal that you come across. Even there have even been reports of herbivores that started eating meat because they were that hungry and had no other food. but it was a source. And the brain told him, I can live if I kill that and eat it. Or I can live if when I come across this dead body, I eat it. It's not always a bad thing. Now, to go back for a minute about the death threats I was speaking about, what I'm specifically speaking about is there was the name of the restaurant is evading me, but there is a vegan restaurant here in California. I think there were 2 or 3 of them that the business had, and they were vegan restaurants, nice upscale places, and people were getting sick. Now, sometimes that's because some people just can't handle a vegan diet. It doesn't fit their dietary needs. Some people need to eat meat to live. Yes, it is true. If you doubt me, do just a little bit of research and find out for yourself. You will be surprised, and you will say, holy shit, that bald stone motherfucker knew what he was talking about. And I do. Now, the reason this older couple, it was an older man and woman that owned these restaurants, the reason why they started receiving these death threats is because after multitudes of people started getting sick, they started raising cattle. Now, they weren't just raising the cattle, they were also killing the cattle and eating the meat. This is why vegans and vegetarians started sending death threats to this older couple who were just living their life and providing a service and a business that supported people that had different beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. What's going on, Musu? Pleasure to see you, girl. It's just preposterous to think of the levels that vegans and vegetarians will go to get somebody on a level of thinking the same way they, which takes me back to veganism, vegetarianism is just like a religion. Do a little bit of research, check into the stories, look at the events that have actually happened, and I promise you, you will be surprised. It's incredible. If you're gonna care about a beating heart of an animal, care about the beating heart of a human being. Because that's the only race that we really have, are humans. There's no black, white, brown, purple, green. Fuck all that. We're all human. And that's what we need to get to. That's a point that we all need to understand. That is something that we all can relate to. And unless we come together, the world's just gonna keep getting... I am an agnostic. Yes. I believe there is something greater than me, but I don't know what it is because I've never experienced it. I've never held it. I've never seen it. I've never felt it or tasted it or smelled it. I believe in what I can experience. And I also believe that because all of us human beings are made of stardust, we are all made of matter that is found out in the cosmos, all throughout the universe that we know. But that's getting me off my subject. Yes, stars all around, but I don't believe in God. I believe that we are all our own gods, and we can make whatever happen that we want. So, vegans versus Stone Chef, what's your opinion? Who wins? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'm going to wish y'all a good night. Peace.